Well, hey everybody, welcome back once again to Graphics Card Nightmares. But we're going to jump right into it. Okay, we're going to get this sorted out really quick. Let me kind of turn this down a little bit to where, I'm in screen and y'all can see what I'm doing here. Okay, now we got a big old cursor right there. Okay, now, this is what we're going to talk about. I told y'all last week on Graphics Card Nightmares that we were going to talk about the pricing. So what I did was I added in we're going to do the AMD side, and what I did was I have all the between the mid-level and top shelf 7000 series, and I also added in the 6000 series. So that's the reason why you see these XXX right here, because I'm starting it off right here in May. So let's go ahead and go through the month of May and see what kind of pricing we had from April to May. Starting off with the 7600 8GB graphics cards. It looks like it went from $270 down to $260. So it looks like the 7600 dropped 10 whole dollars. Now, if you guys go onto the market and you find it cheaper than me, then, I understand that. But I'm just going by the numbers that I found. But if you find them cheaper, then heck, you get a better deal. That's the best way to look at it. So these are the numbers I found. So it went down 10 whole dollars on the 7600, and the 7600 XT 16 gigabytes went down a whole $10. Now, the prices that I'm giving to you that I found are the ones that are the minimal that you can buy these for. Not the maximum. The minimal price you can buy these for. That's what I found. So, looks like the 7600 XT went down a whole $10. The 7700 XT looks like it went down a whole $10. The 7800 XT looks like it went down a whole $10. The 7900 GRE, well, that looked like it went down more than $10. Or it could have went down $9, but yeah, about $9. So it dropped about $9. 7900X looks like it dropped down $10. But the 7900 XTX looks like it still stayed at $900. These prices are rounded up to the nearest dollar. So if it's $899.99, I just said $900. So that's pretty much, these are all rounded up to the nearest dollar. But now we can look at the 6000 series. 6950 XT is at about $570. Okay, that was running at about, maybe the last time I checked was running at about over $600 plus, $651. The last time I checked, that was like a month or two ago. So it definitely dropped in price. 6900 XT, usually hard to find the 6900 XT, but some people can find it. I would not pay $700 for that. That's the closest and lowest price I could find was $700. Knowing that the 6900 XT, usually you would find it for like maybe $500, $525, somewhere in there. But prices increased on it, don't know why. 6800 XT, you can find for $470. Okay, and last time I checked, it was like close to $570. So definitely a $100 drop. And if you're wanting 6800 XT, is equal to, let's say, close to the 7800 XT, within margin of between 1 and 5% when it comes to performance. So, but you understand this. RDNA 2 is going to operate differently than RDNA 3 and RDNA 3.5. See, if you go to the 7000 series, you'll get RDNA 3, RDNA 3.5, and you'll probably get RDNA 4. But with the 6000 series, you're only going to get RDNA 2. They are trying to update the 6000 series to the RDNA 3, open sourced, but I still haven't seen that come about yet. I still have not seen that yet come about to where they actually moved it up to the RDNA 3. You do remember hardware, when it's built on the preference of that structure for that year. So the architecture for that year, that's what it was designed for. Moving it up to a different architecture, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Sometimes you'll get blue screen because of it, because the architecture doesn't match with the hardware. So you got to keep that in mind. So this is the reason why last month I wasn't recommending the 6000 series, was because of this, because of the architecture and everything else. You want to future proof yourself, then you would want to go to the 7000 series. If you want to stay AMD, if you want to stay AMD. Now, you can get the 6800 for $370. I mean, the 6750 you can get for $295, and the 6700 XT you can get for $300. I was looking at these prices. I was like, okay, the 6700 for $300. I seen it for like 275, 280ish, and it kind of went up in the price a little bit because it's getting to the point where you can, with the 6700 XT and the 6750 XT, are coming to the point to where you can't buy it brand new. It's all going to be on the used market soon. So these are going to be like pulling off of the new market to the used. When they stop producing them, I'll let you know. But as far as I know right now, they probably do. It's kind of like up in the air with these two. So, but if you look at the architecture, you got RDNA 2 with your 6000 series, and then you got your 7000 series. Okay, so you look at the 6700 XT. Is it equal to the 7600 or the 7600 XT? So you ask yourself, okay, for $20 more, why am I going to get a 6700 XT for the price of a 7600 XT at 16 gigabytes of VRAM compared to the 6700 XT? With what? 12 gigabyte of VRAM? 8 gigabyte of VRAM? Who knows? Who knows the way they set these up now these days? But I would tell you, if you're going to pay $300, then you're best off to go to the next generation, and that would be the 7600 XT, or you can go to the 7700 XT. They're not bad cards. I mean, but if you're going to buy a 6800 XT, you're best off to just go to, the 7700 XT for $20 difference. I mean, that's common sense. If you're going to go to the 6800 XT for $470, then why not just go to the 7800 XT for $480, $10 more? You get the newest, latest generation for $10 more and better performance. Price to performance, the 7800 XT is faster than the 6800 XT. I know, because I got the 7800 XT right here. And I know it's faster than the 6800 XT. So, for $10 more, you're best off to just go up to another generation. And like if you go and look for the 6900 XT, why are you going to pay $700 when you can go to the 7900 GRE and pay $530? You're paying for better performance when you go up in generations. I mean, they got the 6950 XT for $570. Okay, so that's the only thing that I see out of the 6000 series that would rock better than the 7900. Well, rock just about the same as the 7900 GRE. So, I mean, but the 7900 GRE is still, what, $40 cheaper than the 6950 XT? Now you can see the price points. This is the reason why I said last gen. Why go last gen when you can buy, from this gen, or you can wait and go to the next generation. which I'll have on my charts. As soon as they come about, I'll put the next generation on the charts. But looking at the pricing, you know, it's only a $10 drop from the 7900 XT all the way down to the 7600. Only a $10 drop on each. You know, as far as the 6000 series, you can see the difference between the 6000 and the 7000 series, so I'm giving you an idea there. And if you're looking to save yourself money, then you're best off to just go with the 7900 GRE if you want to go AMD. I mean, you can go up to the 7900 XT if you got $690, but I mean, that's up to you. But as far as generation to generation, I mean, if you look at the 6900 XT to the 7900 XT, the 6900 XT is $10 more than the 7900 XT. But the 7900 XT is faster than the 6900 XT. You can see the difference between the generations. So you get a better idea of the reason why it's best to go to that next generation. Moving down the road for Nvidia, we got some Nvidia pricing for you. We got the 4090, looks like it went up in price. It went from $1,600 to $1,730. It looks like it jumped up $130. The 4080 Super went from $1,000 down to $990, so it dropped $10. 4080, which is out of production, went from $1,119 last month to $1,070 this month. Looks like it dropped a couple dollars there. 4070 Ti Super went from $800 down to $790. The 4070 Ti looks like it went from $700 and it jumped up $39. That's because it's out of production. And everybody's going to be looking at the 4070 Ti and saying, you know what? If we looked at the 5070 compared to the 4070 Ti, we might have a better deal coming on for the 4070 Ti than we do the 5070. Because if the 5070 reaches over $700 for the performance, then it's going to look like, you know, the 4070 Ti is going to be a better deal. 4070 Super went from $595 to $585. 4070 went from $530 up to $550, so it jumped up $20. It's been teetering between $530 and $580, so it's been stagnant. I would say the price has been stagnant. So 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte went from $510 down to $440, so it dropped some dollars. So just to let you know, the 4060 Ti 8 gigabyte went from $385 to $380, so dropped $5. 4060 went from February $294, March $294, went to April $290, and May it's $290 again. So it's basically still $4 drop from February, but it's still stagnant from last month to this month, still sitting stagnant. All right, looking at the pricing, let's start off with the 3060. I picked these out because I think these were better matches with the 40 series somewhat. So I didn't pick out everything, but I picked out some things that I felt that were relevant to gaming, that would be more relevant for your gaming. So your 3068 gigabyte is $259. That's sitting at about the same price as last month. The 3060 12 gigabyte, $289. It still sits in between $349 and $289. That's how it was last month, because everybody's getting attached to the 3060 12 gigabytes. So they're looking to, even on Steam of all games, you see more people are using the 3060 12 gigabytes for gaming. 3070 $449. It's not that bad of a card, it's still, the price varies between the I've seen it down to about $429 and $449 now. So the 3070 Ti $500, I seen this down at $479. but now it's at about 500 bucks. And these are brand new prices, just to let you know. 3080, 10 gigabyte, the LHR, $762. You got to be kidding me about this. And when I seen this and I looked for the cheapest price I could find was about 762. And that's brand new. But used, you'll probably get it about 400, 500 bucks. I try to give you the price on the new compared to the used, so at least you get a better idea of what's better, either new or used. Used, you take a chance. You don't know how much it's been hammered on by its previous user. You never know. You never know if it's been kept treated like gold or treated like dog crap. So that's a risk you take. 3080 12 gigabyte, 957 bucks. Why would you pay for a 3080 $957? This is the lowest price I could find. Looking at the 3080 12 gigabyte, go up here to, let's say, the 4080 Super. Okay. Why would you pay $957 for a 3080 12 gigabyte when you can go to a 4080 Super 16 gigabyte for $990? This is the reason why I don't like, I told you all last month that this is the reason why I don't try to show you last gen prices. But I had a couple subscribers ask me, hey Jay, will you just show us the prices on last gen? And I was like, okay. So this is what I'm doing. I set this all up for last gen and this gen. And then I future proofed my scales for the next gen, your next generation. So we'll be able to add that in too. So your 3090, $1,100. Okay, your 3090. And that still brings me down to the 4080. It's $30 cheaper than a 3090. Better performance for cheaper. 4080 Super. Better performance for cheaper. You see the difference between last gen and this gen. So now 3090 Ti is at $1,526. Okay, so this is 24 gigabytes of VRAM, and then you got your 4090 is 24 gigabytes of VRAM. Okay, but this is the 4090 here is almost double the performance of the 3090 Ti. So if you look at the 4080 Super, it's still got 16 gigabytes of VRAM compared to 24. But always look at it this way too. This right here is going to run faster than this 3090 Ti. Your 4080 Super is going to run faster than your 3090. Better price, better speed, more performance than this. So you're saving yourself quite a bit of money. So that's just to give you an idea of the prices between the two. Okay, now, since you've seen the prices for this month, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to jump right into we're going to hit the home button. We're going to jump into Amazon and show you a little bit of what's cooking on Amazon. Make sure you go to your all button, you hit computers and graphics cards for gaming PCs. Last week, same price. Last week, same price. Same price. Same price. Close to it. But you can see there's not much more price difference. Same price. This teeter, see these 580s, the RX 580s teeter between $95 and $125. So 6700 XT for $299, 4060 Aero. If you're looking for a white version, that looks like a white card, for 320, 4060 Ti. I don't like the XLR8, just to be honest with you. I really don't. 390. 730 we ain't looking at. The 580 GTS. Okay, if they said a 590 GTS, then I would say that's for 130 bucks that would be worth it, but it's not. Difference is because that one has more cores. The 590 GTS has more cores than the 580. So keep moving on down the road. Keep moving on down the road. We're already at 27 minutes. Anything special? So far, I don't see anything special about what's going on with Amazon. I really don't. All right, so now let's do ourselves a diligence and let's go to Newegg. Let's tie in graphics cards and see what Newegg's got cooking. 4070 Ti Super. 4070 Super, 600 bucks. 7900 XTX, 979. Still can find it cheaper. 4070 Ti. See, these are the bold prices that they put out here. You know, the ones that they think it's last resort and you're just the only ones you're gonna buy. And you know, 7800 XT for 574. I've seen it cheaper. Wow. Yeah. Just like, oh wow, man. See, Newegg doesn't have any prices that are really. Whoa, 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 whoa. 6750 GRE? That's a new one on Newegg. I didn't realize that they come out with the 6750 GRE. Y'all might want to check that out too. I'm going to check that out myself. And I'll let you know next week on Graphics Card Nightmare what I think about the 6750 GRE. That's the first I've ever seen a card like that. That must be something new from Yeston. I don't know. So keep that in mind right there. Keep that in mind. Let's see if they got any other surprises coming out of here. Any other new surprises. Could be that AMD's refreshing their 6000 series and adding in the GREs. That'd be something to look into as well. Because that right there, that shocked me. As far as the pricing on Newegg, there's nothing new. It's same as Amazon. Same as Amazon. Okay. Let's go to Micro Center. Let's see what's new on Micro Center. Yep. And let's type in grab. Graphics cards. We'll move this along a little bit. I know I'm kind of breezing through this a little bit, but I don't want to keep you guys here forever. They got 21 available to ship. Let's see what they got available to ship. 4070 Super for $609. 4070 Super for $639. 4060 for $324. 4070 Super Pro Art overclocked, $689. See, I'm going to say this. When you guys are buying graphics cards right now, you're not getting price to performance. You're getting price to name. So you're paying for the name. See, when they added Pro Art to that, they added a couple extra dollars to it. So, you know, that's business. Anybody can add an extra name to it and, you know, ask for a higher price. 1650 GTX. See, Micro Center should know that Nvidia put the GTX out of production. So that means sooner or later the drivers for the GTX series is going to be killed off, unless they're making it open sourced. So 7700 XT, 3050, you know, 3050 low profile. That means it doesn't have a power connector on it. This one does, that one doesn't. But this one is higher in price than this one, $10 more. Let's see, what else? 7800 XT Hellhound, white version it looks like. $600. 4060 Ti, 4060 Ti. 7900 GRE Red Devil, $600. Really? There's workstation for $230. Pro workstation. They got workstation ones. $400. No. All right. Let's see. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the main screen. I'm going to have to fix that one of these days. Okay, final thoughts. Final thoughts right here. Well, we've seen the prices. We've seen the prices on the AMD 7000 series, the AMD 6000 series. We've seen these are, all the good cards. And we've seen the prices on the Nvidia side, the 40 series and the 30 series, all good cards. That's all I put up there was the good cards. The ones that I feel are worth something. But as far as the price wise, AMD's dropped down maybe $5 or $10, maybe 15 max when it comes to pricing. Let me go ahead and close this out. There's nothing else here I wanted to look at. Okay. AMD's dropped their prices down a little bit to stay competitive with Nvidia. Nvidia's got a couple that dropped in price, got one or two that came up in price, but pretty much overall, in an average, they're all pretty much stagnant. Okay, now with AMD, they dropped them down a little bit in price, so they have price drops. So we did see some price dropping. That's because they're doing that because they know, AMD knows when the 50 series comes out, and people are talking that the 5090 is not going to be coming out first, that the 5080 is going to be coming out first. This is leaks. So we don't know if the 5090 or 5080 is going to come out first for Nvidia. It was supposed to, we're all hoping that it was going to either be a paper kind of event where they were going to do a paper launch, or something at Computex, but obviously it doesn't look like that's going to happen. They're looking at late October, maybe close to November, around the holidays, to do either the 5090 or 5080 launch, but everybody's saying the 5080. So let's hope that Nvidia does some kind of launch, some kind of paper launch before they decide to put this onto retail. So at least we can get an idea of what we're going to be looking forward to. But some people are saying it's just going to hit retail, and Nvidia is not going to worry about sending it out to reviewers and stuff like that. They're just going to take in full force it right to the market. Some people are talking like this. I'm hearing it from my friends, which are hearing it from people that work out there at Nvidia, that they're kind of considering the fact of just retail launching it and see where the dust settles, pretty much. So if they do that with the 5080 and they just launch it retail and see where the dust settles, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, okay, well then they should have at least had a review done on it a week or two before they launch it. Okay, but the way pricing with Nvidia has been going now these days, hey, I might have the 4070 right here. Okay, I paid a good price for it. But with all prices, the performance has to go along with it. And as far as I see with the 4070, the performance is with the price. So I have no question that the 4070 is a good one. Now, when they go to launch the 5070, the 5070 is still going to have the same amount of VRAM, still going to have the same amount of bus. You know, it's going to have a 192-bit bus. It's just that the clocks might be a little bit higher, and also too the transfer between the graphics card, motherboard, and processor might be a little higher as well. So you know the piping transfers might be a little bit higher. Then more or less like the 5070 is probably either going to be like the 4070 Super in speed, or it's going to be like the 4070 Ti. It's going to be one or the other. It's not going to equal out in speed with the 4070 to the 5070. You know, it's not going to equal out. So it's either the 5070 is going to run like the 4070 Ti, or it's going to run like the 4070 Super, one or the other. And looking at the performance that they're saying on the 5070 with the leaks, it looks like it's just going to be a 4070 Super launch. To me, that's the way I feel it's going to look. But if they're going to keep the same price as the 4070 Super or the 4070 Ti on the 5070, then, you know, it's not going to be a viable graphics card for the next generation. That's where it's got me worried a little bit. That the price on the 5070, they're going to make it as the same price as the 4070 Ti. Even though that price to performance, the 4070 Ti is going to be just as fast, but give a little better performance than the 5070 if it launches that way. I'm using the 5070 as an example, is because one moment I heard that they're not going to launch a 5070, that they're going to skip the 5070 generation, and I hear another leak that they're going to launch the 5070. Okay. And now looking at the leak that, you know, that they say the 5080 is just as fast, even a little bit faster than the 4090. So who's to say if Nvidia doesn't launch a 4090 Ti or a 4090 Ti Super and then launch a 5090? That wouldn't, I mean, how many people are going to buy a 4090 Ti or a 4090 Ti Super when they come out with the 5080 that's just as fast and a little bit faster than the 4090? See, I hear these rumors and leaks, so I'm just bringing it to y'all and telling you all what I'm hearing. So for right now, I can tell you that when they launch the 5080, it's supposed to be faster than the 4090. Just to let you know that. But benchmark will tell. When it gets benchmarked, we'll find out which one is the best of the deal. So, but I can tell you with that 12 volt high power plug that they got on there, I hope they do something better with the 50 series than what they did with the 40 series. The only thing that I seen that come out of good of the 40 series was the 4070 when they put the 8-pin plug adapter on it instead of the 12 volt high power adapter. I got the one with the 8-pin plug. I got lucky. At least mine's not melting. So, and plus it's only pulling 200 watts, so max on that plug, it's not going to phase it. That plug will hold up to about 320, 330 watts on that one 8-pin plug because the plastic was designed to handle it. Because the pins on the 8-pin power plug are individual to the wire. Not like the 12 volt high power, they put everything on a rail that's thinner than a piece of aluminum foil, and they expect it to hold between 450 to 600 watts between that little piece of tin foil, pulling all the power through it. It doesn't work like that. That's like a fuse. When you pull too much power, guess what happens? The fuse burns like that. So, simple as that. Now we know. Now you know why the 12 volt high power connector is not the best in the world. I'd rather have the 8-pin power connector because they're individual wired and the wires are correct for that plug. That's what makes that more special. But anyway, enough of me ranting and raving about it. So, but if you made it to the end of the video, if this is your first time here, subscribe. Put some like on the video if you do like the video, and don't forget to turn your notifications on. That way you'll know when I post the next video. Until the next time in the next video, everybody, you know what it is, and we will see you on the next one.